live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. It's Friday, January 19th.
Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. What a week of weather. It was so nice yesterday, a beautiful afternoon.
Mike said to enjoy it because it would be short-lived. Where are we at with that, Mike?
Well, it was short-lived. It was beautiful, nice fond memory, but the front moved through overnight, as you probably maybe felt or heard with the windy conditions out there. Temperatures are continuing to drop down, not just an initial plunge, but we will make a slow, steady descent over the next couple of hours. We're at 50 right now, so it's not bone chilling out there. Grab a jacket, of course. Much drier air, and like I said, very windy conditions. And then we only rebound this afternoon to 49 degrees. So we will drop down low 40s and then bump back up. Lots of sunshine again today, but again, we're going to be 20-25 degrees cooler than what it was yesterday. The aquifer did go up 0.6 of a foot in yesterday's reading, and the allergens, low amounts of mountain cedar, low amounts of mold. Going to be interesting to see what mountain cedar does when the updated count comes out later on this morning after these blustery northerly winds. And it's going to stay, like I said, windy pretty much all day long. Take a look at some of the temperatures around the area right now. So we're down in the mid 40s in the hill country, and there's a little bit of a wind chill in places. 40 is what it feels like at Bernie, 42 in Kerrville, Lost Maples. Again, these winds coming in here out of the north at 15, close to 20 miles per hour. And then we've got the gusts right now, 29 at the airport. Same thing, Port SA, 25 at Lost Maples. So it stays blustery all the rest of the day. And we've got obviously much drier air that's going to be coming on in here. Sunny, windy, colder today than what it was yesterday. And we're going to be a good 15 degrees on average below the normal high temperature. Then winds subside tonight, clear skies, dry air. Perfect situation for another very hard freeze down to the mid 20s here in town. Mid 40s in the afternoon, sunshine to start. Then the clouds will increase throughout the day tomorrow. Sunday, we start off on the chilly side. Only get up to 40 in the afternoon, and we'll have a couple of showers around here. So it's going to be a chilly, damp day. Then the rain definitely picks up overnight into Monday, and we're looking at potentially some heavy rain on Monday, especially the first chunk of the day overnight and in through midday. Tapers a little bit, but the nice thing is there's still rain chances. Now, it's not going to rain constantly, not everywhere, but rain chances will stick around and are in the forecast all week long, and temperatures will be mild-ish. Jacket weather, but nothing too hot, nothing too cold. All the details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, Mr. Marquez, happy Friday. Is it happy on the road?
So far, so good, Mike. Yeah, not too many things going on. So happy Friday to everyone out there. Hopefully you guys are getting ready for a good weekend here. Taking a look outside, TransGuide, you see traffic moving pretty good in parts of our area here. 35 at Pine Street, traffic moving pretty well both directions there. 37 at Fair Avenue, same situation as well. We do have some ongoing construction still taking place a little bit north of downtown. These are the westbound lanes of I-10 at Frio, and was told that this should clear up a little bit after 5 o'clock. So just kind of keeping an eye on this to make sure we're not seeing any major delays here. You do see a little bit of some yellow according to our maps there going back to I-35. The rest of the city, again, things looking pretty good for the most part, but we're going to be talking about this throughout the entire morning. You're probably going to hear a lot about this. We're going to restart this construction taking place there on the far northwest side. So again, TxDOT will be shutting down I-10 at 1604 this weekend, starting tonight, going through 5 a.m., weather permitting. So again, I-10 all the way from UTSA to La Cantera Parkway is going to be shut down. Same situation here from 1604, both directions, Vance Jackson to La Cantera Parkway. So here's a quick look at just a couple of detours here. Obviously, you're going to have to exit Vance Jackson, get back onto La Cantera Parkway if you're going to try and get onto 1604 and vice versa. So we're going to show you some drone video we got of the latest what they've been doing out there. Kind of give you a quick update exactly what exactly is going on out there with this expansion project. So we'll bring that to you here in just a bit. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
RJ, San Antonio police responded to a wrong-way driver that crashed on I-10 overnight. According to an officer, just after 2 a.m., the wrong-way driver was reported on I-10 way out at Bernie Stage Road. Police say that driver made it all the way past Loop 410 and finally crashed head-on with another car just before Vance Jackson. The wrong-way driver is now being assessed for possibly driving while intoxicated. The driver of the other car was taken to the hospital as a precaution. Well, Thursday, we got our most thorough look at the law enforcement response into the Robb Elementary School shooting.
United States Attorney General visited Uvalde, calling what happened on May 24th, 2022, a complete and utter failure. Our KSAT team has been digging through the nearly 600-page report.
It confirms what the families of the victims and survivors have already said for almost 2 years. As Lee Waldman reports, many hope this report spurs accountability from local officials.
It is hard to look at the truth that the law enforcement response on May 24th was an unimaginable failure.
A failure by those who were supposed to respond to children's calls for help inside of classrooms here at Robb Elementary.
33 students and 3 of their teachers, many of whom have been shot, were trapped in a room with an active shooter for over an hour as law enforcement officials remained outside.
The Department of Justice releasing its critical incident review of the law enforcement response on May 24th, 2022. For nearly 2 years, the families of the 21 victims have cried out, saying law enforcement did not stop the gunmen as they were trained. Thursday, that was confirmed.
Had the law enforcement agencies followed generally accepted practices in an active shooter situation and gone right after the shooter to stop him, lives would have been saved.
This report listed 10 instances where law enforcement should have and could have stopped the killing, but didn't. As expected, it pointed fingers at the lack of action taken by then Uvalde CISD Police Chief Pete Arredondo and acting Uvalde Police Chief Mariana Pargas.
One of the surprises inside of this DOJ critical incident review is the fact that the crime scene inside of classrooms 111 and 112 was compromised by members of law enforcement who returned back simply to get another look for themselves.
I didn't realize that the scene was compromised.
What?
The scene was compromised, so that there was people that shouldn't have been there that were entering the classroom.
With this report finalized, these families are turning their focus back to Uvalde County District Attorney Christina Mitchell to file criminal charges on those who can be held accountable.
I also hope that this lights a fire up under the district attorney's, because we know that she has not done a thing, and we refuse to accept that.
In Uvalde for GMSA, I'm Lee Waldman.
Meanwhile, Brent De La Paz, a criminal defense attorney in San Antonio, says the latest report could be just what the Uvalde District Attorney's Office has been waiting on to bring this case to a grand jury. A grand jury would meet in secret, hear the case, excuse me, and decide if there's enough evidence to file charges. De La Paz says the statute of limitations on some personal injury and misdemeanor charges is quickly approaching, but there's still a bit more time to file felony charges.
I think it's been pretty clear who some of the targets are, whether or not they will actually be charged. That's a local decision.
De La Paz explains that even if or when charges are filed, it may still take a long time to bring resolution to this case.
It can be extremely tough hearing all the details in that report. Marian Sokol is the CEO of the Children's Bereavement Center. She says people often feel powerless after tragedies like the one in Uvalde. But instead of worrying about what you can't do, she recommends you focus on those you can help.
Some people will just be depressed and withdraw and not feel joy anymore. And they do need help. They do need counseling. Others will be numb to it.
If you do need help, you can get it. One place is the Children's Bereavement Center or the Ecumenical Center. United Way's 211 Healthline also offers assistance 24/7. And there's so much to unpack with the extensive DOJ report, so we are breaking it down for you on our website, KSAT.com. Look for this article to stay up to date with all the new developments.
Today, a man on trial for capital murder will learn his fate.
Houston Alibad Rodriguez is accused of the 2018 double murder of Nicholas Milanovich and Julia Wright. Our Sarah Costa is here to tell us what else is expected in court later today.
Good morning, Steph and Mark. Both Nicholas Milanovich and Julia Wright were fatally shot as they were asleep in their apartment. In court yesterday, the jury saw a more than 2-hour-long interrogation video where Avilad Rodriguez confessed to the murders, but he says he was forced to do it by his girlfriend, Melissa Cortez. Cortez, he says, was a drug kingpin and told him that Milanovich was stealing drug business from her. Closing arguments are expected later this morning around 9:30, and then the jury will get to deliberate. If found guilty, Avilar Rodriguez would automatically be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. You can watch that trial all live today on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and KSAT's YouTube pages. Mark?
Thank you, Sarah. This morning, Congress has sent President Biden a short-term spending bill that would avert a looming partial government shutdown and fund federal agencies into March. The House approved the measure by a vote of 314 to 108. About half of Republicans joined Democrats in passing the third stopgap spending measure in recent months. The bill extends current spending levels and buys time for the two chambers to work out their differences over full-year spending bills.
Scary moments for passengers on board an American Airlines plane when it skidded off a snowy runway in New York. It happened late yesterday at the Frederick Douglass Greater Rochester International Airport. New video shows passengers being helped off the plane by firefighters. No injuries were reported among the 50 passengers and 3 crew members on board. The official cause of the incident is under investigation.
Friday morning, 5:11, 49 degrees.
Just ahead, how Instagram is making changes to try to get teens to get off its app when they should be getting a good night's sleep.
Up next, why an Innocence Project organization is taking up the case of Scott Peterson, convicted in 2004 of killing his wife, Lacey Peterson, and their unborn child.
Look out there with live cams. Starting cold, but again, better than we've had all week. 49 degrees, not that bad. And yesterday afternoon was just beautiful. Hope you had a chance to go outside because Mike is telling us that things are going to change again. Welcome back. It is 5:15. The Los Angeles Innocence Project is taking up the notorious case of Scott Peterson, who was convicted in the 2004 killing of his wife, Lacey, and their unborn child. ABC's Andrea Fujii has the details in today's GMA First Look.
In this morning's GMA First Look, a bombshell development in one of the most infamous murder trials of the 21st century.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Scott Lee Peterson, guilty of the crime.
Scott Peterson, convicted of killing his pregnant wife, Lacey, and their unborn child in 2002. Peterson is currently serving a life sentence. The Los Angeles Innocence Project filing a motion Thursday stating evidence has been discovered that points to Mr. Peterson's innocence and points to the actual perpetrators of the crimes against Lacey and Connor Peterson. Peterson's trial attorney, Mark Garagos, remembers arguing the case.
There were unbelievable amount of leads and pieces of evidence that pointed everywhere but Scott.
And coming up at 7 a.m., legal expert Dan Abrams weighs in live with what this major new development means and what's next for Scott Peterson. With your GMA First Look, I'm Andrea Fujii, ABC News.
5:16, 49 degrees.
Out there with TransGuide in this 49-degree weather. Looking good there at I-35 at Pine. Things are moving. Also, I-37 at Fair Avenue. We're going to get a check-in with RJ Marquez very soon.
Chances of a plane crash, 1 in 11 million. You're not considered assault and nuts, right? Never waking up from anesthesia, 1 in 185,000. Validate your parking or just see how it goes? Why stress about the unlikely? Does a killer clown worry about being struck by lightning while winning the lottery? Sure don't. But your odds of falling victim to online crime are 1 in 4. You need Aura. You, your family, all protected from scary online stuff. Protect everything your family does online with Aura.
Sore throat got your tongue? Mucinex Insta-Soothe Sore Throat Medicated Drops. Uniquely formulated for rapid relief that lasts and lasts. That's my baby! Get Mucinex Insta-Soothe. It's comeback season.
Nature's Bounty Hair Growth. Help grow thicker, fuller hair with just 1 capsule a day of Advanced Hair Complex. Conquer hair thinning.
And fall in love with your hair all over again.
Only from Nature's Bounty.
5:19 on our Friday morning.
Happy Friday. We're going to talk about the brief, beautiful weather we had yesterday in just a moment.
Yeah, it was definitely really nice outside. And also, guys, we're going to talk a little bit here about this big project that's taking place. Obviously, you've definitely heard a lot about it. But real quick, we're going to give you a quick update here. TransGuide traffic cameras, I-10 ProBant traffic moving pretty good in both directions there. No major incidents to let you know about. The only thing that we're following over the past 30 minutes or so has been this construction that's been taking place on I-10 westbound at Frio Street. but it looks like it's actually kind of clearing up out there. So that's good news if you're headed out to the downtown area right now. All right, so here we go. This is going to be the story from the weekend. We're talking about the 1604 I-10, the expansion that's taking place out there. Obviously, the big message here is that 1604 is shut down both directions. I-10 shut down both directions there as well. And the reason being because they are installing these impressive beams onto the interchange there. And we got some drone video of this yesterday. So this is fresh video that we're seeing out there. This is a ramp that is being built from Loop 1604 eastbound to westbound I-10. And this is going to be basically that connection if you are headed up to the Bernie area. So you saw last weekend, despite some tricky weather, they were able to install several beams in that interchange right there. And this is impressive stuff. We were talking about this during the break at how the engineering and some of that that's involved in all this stuff. So TxDOT telling me that they should be able to hang more beams this weekend. Of course, weather permitting. Hopefully they can add 6 more beams there. And but fortunately, it will be a full weekend of closures starting tonight at 9 o'clock and running through 5 a.m. Monday morning. But obviously now you could see by the end of these closures that drivers should definitely be able to see this ramp take shape here over the main lanes there. So again, tonight, 9 p.m. to Monday, 5 a.m., 1604 at I-10 is going to be shut down both directions on both highways. Mike, this is pretty impressive stuff, right? We're talking about the engineering behind this.
Yeah, I mean, just getting those things up there. But then we were talking about how, so you got beams here, you got beams here, you're filling that gap. That takes some really good measuring to make sure you don't get the new one up there going, oh no. So
don't want that to happen.
No, you don't want that to happen. That's why they're a whole lot smarter than I am. Anyway, thank you very much for the KSAT Connect picture here from yesterday. Bulverde at 1604, an absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous sunset. And I bet you're just in shirt sleeves taking this picture yesterday. It's not bone chilling this morning. Grab a jacket, though, because you'll need it throughout the day. Temperatures will continue to drop down this morning somewhat, and then not rebound all that much. We've already hit our high for the day when it's going to go down in the record books, which was earlier this morning in the upper 50s and even low 60s around the area. Humidity has dropped down, and we've got these northerly winds. That's going to continue to pull in this bone dry air. That's going to be later on tonight, overnight, and tomorrow. And then with the wind subsiding, when you've got dew points down in single digits and clear skies, all the ingredients for good radiational cooling, which is why we're going to be dropping down into the mid-20s. That's here in town tomorrow morning. Now, as far as later on this morning, we'll continue to drop down. We're at the upper 40s, 50 right now. Drop down another 8-10 degrees. Plenty of sunshine out there. Windy conditions, so we will have wind chill to deal with as you're waiting for the bus with kids or just heading on out. And even wind chills, I mean, you'll feel it with those winds out of the north at 15, 20 miles per hour gusting from there. We get up into the upper 40s later on today. If you're in the shadows, it's going to feel a whole lot colder. And then, like I said, it cools off very quickly as far as overnight and tomorrow morning. Dry air today, tomorrow, and then look at how the dew points, the moisture really comes back in here. This is what's going to help to feed some of the rain next week. And this is, once again, the next 7 days. Take everything, all the rain, and put it together. And we are looking at 3 inches here in town, maybe even a little bit more. Lesser amounts in parts of the hill country, a whole lot more off to the east. A good chunk of this would be coming on Monday because that's when the best opportunity as of right now looks like for rain. Sunday, a little bit of some showers are going to be possible down to the south, but as the day rolls on, we will have these rain chances. Again, this is just kind of broad brush, but the opportunity of rain is going to be there. Notice how the chances do definitely pick up, and rain picks up in intensity and coverage going into Monday, and especially about this time on Monday, and we're going to be seeing potentially a couple of inches of rain. Lull in the action after that by the afternoon, but we'll have another rain chance each and every day next week. So today, 49 for high temperature, for an afternoon temperature. Like I said, we've already hit our high. Down to 25 tomorrow morning, 45 in the afternoon. Sunny to start, clouds increase. Chance of rain later in the day on Sunday. Only 40 on Sunday, so it's going to be pretty much grilled cheese and soup weather. Steady temperatures overnight into Monday. Heavier, more widespread rain overnight into Monday. And then those rain chances, again, pretty much every day all week long. It won't rain constantly, not everywhere, but it's so nice to see those rain chances and steady temperatures. I mean, you've got like a 5-degree window, basically, upper 50s, low 60s all the rest of next week.
Well, this weekend, leaning on the chilly side, may have to stay inside and watch playoff football again. Darn it.
Oh, shoot.
It works out
starting
that
2
way.
o'clock on Sunday. Lions
Yeah.
going to beat the Buccaneers.
Yes.
So, hi.
Oh, with a blanket watching that.
Of course.
Cheering them on.
I already know
Yes.
there's been some trash talk between the Lions and the Bucks. So we'll see what happens. Good luck, Mike. 525, 49 degrees.
Up next, how you can take advantage of a free reading tutor app powered by Microsoft's AI.
Welcome back. Instagram introducing a new feature that aims to keep teenagers off the app at night. ABC's Andrea Fujii has the details in today's Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, Instagram is rolling out a new feature to limit the time teens spend on the app at night. The new feature is called Nighttime Nudges. If a teen is on Instagram for more than 10 minutes, it will encourage them to close the app and go to sleep. The nudges will come post 10 p.m. with the prompt reading, "Time for a break?" Microsoft is giving away its artificial intelligence-powered reading tutor app for free. All you need to use, Reading Coach, is a Microsoft account. Microsoft says the latest AI technology offers the opportunity for personalized, transformative reading experiences. Bose is out with new wireless earbuds that clip onto the ear. The company claims the ultra-open earbuds' distinctive design lets some outside noise in and allows users to wear them easily with hats or glasses. All that convenience for about $300. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
529, 49 degrees.
Now, did some of your plants freeze during our latest round of winter weather? Up next, we explore your options to save them in gardening with KSAT.
And ahead on GMS 6, the Houston Texans are hoping to score a playoff upset against one of the best teams in the NFL. Why CJ Stroud believes this time will be different from their Week 1 clash in September. Hey there, good morning. It is Friday, January 19th.
Happy Friday and show
Mountain
and
Cedar
tell.
may be a little high. You might need a tissue by chance, just in case.
Yes,
you know,
actually.
And does anybody have to take notes? A viewer made this.
Oh, is that the only one?
I know. I don't have the little.
Oh, it's a
square boxy
prop.
thing,
Sorry.
So, yeah, it's kind of a prop, but yeah.
need to
So a
refill
viewer
that.
made these a couple of years ago for me, and yeah. So I'd let you know. Oh look!
Cool.
Oh, we got the Octomon again. Thank you. The pens that. Let me just savor this. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We have a station in Detroit, Mike. You should go work there.
I know. I
So
should
the playoffs are over
right now. Just to kind of sit there for a while. Anyway, when you step outside this morning, make sure you do grab a jacket. We had the front move through overnight, and that's going to pull in. It's not bone chilling out there this morning, but it's windy, and it's going to stay windy throughout the day, and will be continuing to kind of drop down a little bit as far as temperatures are concerned. Lots of clear skies out there as of right now. Temperature is at 50. We have dropped down a good 5-10 degrees just over the past couple of hours. A slow, steady decline. Much drier air is in here. Wind is out of the northeast, 14 miles per hour, and then gusting on top of that. So down to 44s in Kerrville, Comfort, Lost Maples, 45 Bernie, 50 here in town. Upper 40s around Canyon Lake. Somewhat of a wind chill to deal with up there in Kerrville, especially in Lost Maples. And you're definitely going to notice the wind throughout the rest of the day today. Again, out of the north, 10, 15 miles per hour. It is going to be interesting to see what the updated mountain cedar count is when that comes out later on this morning. Gusts 29 out there at the airport, so that's not going to be uncommon throughout, especially mid to even late afternoon. Then the wind is going to subside. Then get ready, because we're setting up for a very cold morning tomorrow. Mountain cedar, by the way, is on the low side from yesterday's count. Mold is also low. We are going to make it back up to 49 degrees. So we'll drop down, bottom out in the low 40s this morning, and then bounce back up with those windy conditions. Yeah, real hard freeze tomorrow. Nice day, then clouds increase. Then rain chances for most all of next week. All those details coming up in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, RJ, what's going on, sir?
All right, Mike. Yeah, taking a look at the roads right now. Things looking pretty good out there, considering where we started the week when we had some ice on the roadways. We have got smooth sailing throughout the city of San Antonio right now. So looking at 35, Space Center traffic moving pretty good in both directions there. 35 at Loop 410, same situation there as well. You see a lot of green on our screen here, so right now might be a good time to head out, maybe grab some coffee or some early breakfast if that's something you want to do, because again, things looking pretty good out there. Now that will not not be the case later on as we start the weekend into tonight. So taking a look here, we are going to be shutting down again I-10 1604 on the far northwest side. So anyone who's going to be going up to the rim, the shops at La Cantera, keep this in mind. You're going to be around the UTSA area. We have I-10 closed in both directions. You're going to have to exit UTSA Boulevard and then get back onto La Cantera Parkway if you want to get anywhere through I-10. Good thing is that the frontage roads will stay open in this area. So the other part of this is obviously 1604. Now here's going to be a little bit different. You're going to have to exit Vance Jackson Road if you are on 1604, go all the way up to the rim and then come all the way back down and get onto La Cantera Parkway on the 1604 side. So again, both directions, both highways are going to be shut down. It's part of that big expansion project taking place there at 1604 and I-10. So we're going to show you some drone video, kind of give you a different view exactly of what is going on there and give you a little bit of update on the project. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, RJ. A 31-year-old man faces life in prison after pleading guilty for his involvement in the June 2022 migrant tragedy that left 53 people dead after they were smuggled in a tractor trailer. Riley Covarrubias Ponce was part of a group that was transporting a group of migrants from Laredo to San Antonio. The truck stopped on Quintana Road, and the migrants were left in a trailer without ventilation or water in the extreme summer heat. 47 adults and six children died.
U.S. Capitol Police say threats against members of Congress increased from the previous year. The department said it investigated more than 8,000 threats against elected officials in 2023. That number was up nearly 500 cases compared to 2022. Capitol Police say that in 2023, their investigations included concerning statements and direct threats to both Democrats and Republican members of Congress. The threats were sent via email, telephone, and social media. Capitol Police added the number of threats against members typically surge during an election year.
U.S. forces have conducted a fifth strike against Iranian-backed Houthi rebel military sites in Yemen. The action comes as President Biden acknowledged that the American and British bombardment had yet to stop the militant attacks on vessels in the Red Sea that have disrupted global shipping. U.S. Central Command said the latest strikes destroyed 2 Houthi anti-ship missiles that were aimed into the southern Red Sea and prepared to launch. Biden said the U.S. would continue the strikes, even though so far they haven't stopped the Houthis from continuing to harass commercial and military vessels.
And the bouts of bitter cold still has its grip on most of the country from Oregon to the Northeast. At least 41 deaths are now blamed on the extreme weather, with more on the way. This morning, a new storm is dumping more snow on the hard-hit Northeast. Philadelphia is bracing for the most, up to 6 inches, with 1 to 3 inches farther north. Now, wind chills this weekend will be dropping below zero from Chicago and Kansas City to Nashville. The NFL is also closely watching the weather after the Arctic blast set records last weekend. In Buffalo, the Bills are once again asking fans to help shovel snow at Highmark Stadium before Sunday's showdown with the Chiefs.
So, have you started to peek under the plant coverings, and have you found your plants looking dead from the Arctic freeze we had earlier this week?
Well, in this segment of Gardening with KSAT, our Sarah Costa shows us why some of your plants aren't really dead, just dormant, right? And what do we do next?
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Don't get freaked out or depressed because they can look dead, but if they aren't annuals or in ground or potted plants, tropicals, newly planted succulents, which you probably brought inside, your other in-ground plants, they are probably alive. So here's what you can do next.
South Texas just endured another Arctic freeze, and you worked hard to save your beloved plants. So now your plants look like this, or even a little bit of this.
Don't panic and don't pull them up. Your plants most likely aren't dead. They've just died back, they've gone dormant, and will probably come back in the spring. So now what?
All you can do right now is wait. I know, I'm not a patient person, and I hate it when my garden looks this sad. But it's what our plants need right now. A little bit of space.
Plants don't like clingy gardeners.
Don't prune anything just yet. If you start pruning away the dead stuff now, you can do more harm than good. Remember, we can get another freeze. And those dead leaves and stems can protect your plants. I would wait to prune until at least the end of February or after several weeks of warm weather. And before you prune, make sure you check the forecast with the KSAT weather team to make sure there's not a freeze in the next 10 days. What you can do is scrape the wood. If it's still green, your plant's alive and will sprout in the spring. Yay! And your garlic, it's not dead. Let that foliage die back. It's still very much doing its thing under the soil, trust me. And if your sago palms have a little bit of damage, don't worry, they're most likely going to come back. You can confirm this by checking the crown to make sure it's still solid. You'll know your plants are still alive once growth starts sprouting from the roots, most likely by March to early May. Happy gardening, I'm Sarah. Okay, so the only exception I would say to plants that may have not made it, newly planted ones in the fall, especially succulents in the ground, and especially if they were not covered. But keep your plants covered through tonight. We have that other freeze coming in like Mike talked about, but make sure you uncover them by Saturday afternoon so they can soak up that much needed rain we'll be getting through next week, which will help them spring back to life in a couple of months. Mark, Steph.
Sarah, my takeaway there was that I didn't know you were a stage 5 clinger when it came to
your plants.
I'm just keeping it honest here.
your relationship with your plants.
It pays off. They look good.
You're serious about your plants. We love it. 541, 49 degrees.
And it's usually around now or toward the end of the month that people start to falter on their New Year's resolutions. Up next, how a special event coming up soon could help you stay on track.
Outside with live cam on your Friday, hovering right around upper 40s right now here in town. It's a beautiful morning out there. The weather again is kind of all over the place as we go into next week, and it sounds like we could be in for several days of rainfall. Welcome back to GMSA. It is, of course, Friday, January 19th, and this is usually about the time people start throwing in the towel on their New Year's resolutions.
However, one business in Seguin wants to make sure you stay on track. We're talking about Pecan Town Books and Brews on South Camp Street. So this Saturday is holding a mental health fair. A therapist, nutritionist, and chiropractor will be there to answer your questions about fighting depression and anxiety so you can have a successful year. The event coordinator at Pecan Town told KSAT what inspired her to plan the event.
I had horrible postpartum depression, and because of how awful it was, I needed help. And there wasn't a lot of resources available to me. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to turn to. Because of that, I wanted to encourage people who needed it and just have a space where everything will be. That way we can send people out to the community where they need it.
The mental health fair is free and open to everyone. It's happening this Saturday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Pecan Town is at 212 South Camp Street in Seguin. We also have the article with the information on our website at ksat.com.
Time now, it's 5:46 and 49 degrees for now.
Let's see how things are looking out there for you early bird commuters, folks that have to hit the roads well before 7 o'clock in the morning. And right now looking at 281 at the Quarry. There's 90 at Zarzamora. A little shake to the camera right there. The weather has again turned colder overnight. We're going to check in with both RJ and Mike straight ahead.
5:49 right now on your Friday morning, and things looking great out there on the roads right now. No major crashes, no major incidents right now to let you know about traffic moving pretty good through all parts of the city. We've gotten rid of some ongoing construction there on the northeast side, so that's good news. There was some ongoing construction taking place in the downtown area. We have cleared that as well. So we're going to continue to talk about the Loop 1604 I-10 interchange. That's going to be shut down this weekend, so keep that in mind if you're going to be headed out to the far northwest side. We have detours from UTSA Boulevard up to La Cantera Parkway on I-10, and we have detours from Vance Jackson to La Cantera Parkway on 1604. Also, that's going to be the case there for drivers headed in that area. I want to show you this drone footage that we shot yesterday. Our photojournalist, Eddie Larigo and Adam Barraza went out there and shot pretty incredible stuff here. So this is the ramp that is being built from the eastbound lanes of Loop 1604 to I-10 West. So this is going to be for our travelers headed out to the Bernie area. And you could see that they're going to be adding some more beams there this weekend, hanging more of those beams. And again, this closure going to be taking place there Friday tonight. up to 5 a.m. Monday morning. So one quick thing, guys, this project, what I was told by TxDOT last week, is about 50% done this particular phase, because obviously they're doing a lot of work on 1604, even going to Bandera and going even past to Lock Hill Selma. So this part of this project, 50% done. So that's good news there, because it's been a lot of headaches for people. And I do want to give a quick shout out to one of our viewers, Sue Hammond. She emailed me just a little while ago and said, thank you very much for that drone footage. It really kind of gives a different perspective as to what's going on out there. So hopefully we could get more of that footage as this project kind of moves along.
We appreciate the progress report.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, RJ.
And obviously when they put up those big beams, they don't want people underneath them for safety's sake. So I remember doing a story, 20, 25 years ago when they did the 410 I-10 interchange, and there's those big, spans and beams. And talking with one of the TxDOT folks, and they said there's something like just 3 inches of tolerance when they're putting those beams up. So, I mean,
it's a tight fit.
You think it's what, hundreds of feet long, and you got that much to spare either direction. That takes some pretty smart folks out there. So, all right, take a look. This was yesterday, and over there at Woodlawn Lake, and Mr. McClellan says you could feel the changes coming in the air tonight. Little shout out to Phil Collins there, but yeah, we had some changes overnight, and it is definitely windy out there this morning. It is cooler now, not as cold as what we were yesterday, because we did dip down to 31 degrees yesterday morning, and then got up to 33 yesterday morning, got up to 72 in the afternoon. So we had basically a 40-degree increase in temperatures. We're not going to be seeing that today. Actually, we'll continue to drop down a little bit. Now, 20 in Cut Bank, 20 below in Cut Bank, 17 below in Casper. At this time last week, we were watching this cold air that was going to be heading our direction. However, this time around, a lot of that's just getting kind of pushed to the east across the Great Lakes and the Northeast. We're getting a little bit of it. Yes, we will get down in the mid-20s tomorrow, but nothing like what we had earlier this week. So good-looking day today, good-looking day for the first part of the day tomorrow after that very hard freeze. Then we're going to start to see the moisture really kind of come back on in here. Cloud cover, first of all, in the afternoon tomorrow, overnight into Sunday, and then some rain chances. And what's going to be going on, we have moisture coming in from the Gulf of Mexico, and then these little disturbances. We've got this flow coming in here and just little waves that come across. So these will be the things that give us the rain chances. Tomorrow night into Monday, a little disturbance slides across here. Another one on Tuesday, another one on Wednesday, and this whole pattern kind of stays in place through the rest of the week, and so that's going to keep rain chances in place through a good portion of next week. And again, the majority of it, and this is through the next 7 days, will be off to the east, lesser amounts off to the west, but pretty much everybody's going to see rain in some way, shape, or another. Could have a couple of heavier downpours. That'll be the thing we have to watch out for early on Monday. So rain develops on Sunday, and then as we go into the overnight hours, again, we're going to be seeing some of those heavier downpours there, and that's going to be the first portion of the day on Monday, and then every day next week. And temperatures are going to be actually going up somewhat by Monday, and then staying fairly consistent. We will make it back up into the upper 40s then later on today. Plenty of sunshine. Wind's going to subside tonight, so that is going to let us get down to 25 tomorrow. Hard freeze. 45 in the afternoon, clouds increase, and then Sunday stays chilly all day long, 40, some showers in the afternoon. Rain chances throughout all of next week. Love saying that. We'll be back.
Ahead in the next hour, GMSA, did some of your plants freeze during our last round of winter weather? Sarah Costa has some options to save them in Gardening with KSAT. Plus, there's a lot to unpack with the extensive DOJ report on the Robb Elementary School shooting. We're breaking down the fallout for you before 7 a.m. And up next, drivers on the far northwest side can expect another traffic headache this weekend. RJ is back with weekend construction. That is coming up fast. And TransGuide, as we go to break, taking a live look around town here in San Antonio. The roads are dry right now, but it looks like that could change as we go into the latter part of the weekend, especially into Monday morning. We've got you covered right here on GMSA. We're going to have another look at your top stories, weather, and traffic after this.
Good morning. Let's look out there with live cam. We're starting at 48 degrees, which is a piece of cake compared to what we've been experiencing all week. Yesterday, though, really nice. Hope you had a chance to go outside. I was just saying this is the best day ever, but things are going to change.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Hi there. Good morning. Rise and shine. It is 6 a.m. on your Friday, January 19th.
Happy Friday. That's, going to make it easier to get out of bed that it's Friday and that it's 48 degrees.
We're hoping temperatures stay on the high side because we've got precipitation that's going to be entering the forecast at some point, right, Mike?
Yeah, late in the weekend. First of all, when you think about yesterday, kind of an unusual day. We gained 40 degrees, 39 to be exact, from the low to the high. Even though the humidity started coming up, everything was kind of warming up, preceding the front, which moved through in the overnight hours. And now temperatures have been slowly declining throughout the past couple of hours. Even just last hour, we were right around 50, 51, now down to 48, 43 comfort. Bernie is now down to 43. Still a couple of 50s around here, and we'll continue to drop down a few more notches in the next couple of hours. And there is a wind chill to deal with right now. 42 at the airport, 35 is what it feels like there up the road in Bernie. So yeah, grab a coat and you'll need it all day long. No 70s today by any stretch. We're pretty much going to be 25 degrees cooler on average. Wind is coming in here out of the north. 15, 20, 22 mile per hour sustained winds in New Braunfels. Gusts right now 36 out there at the airport. And it's going to stay windy throughout the first probably 3/4 of the day. And then the wind's going to start to ease up somewhat later on this afternoon. Mold, Mountain Cedar are both on the low side. Going to be interesting to see what that does when we get into when we get the new updated count later on this morning. Temperatures, like I said, continue to drop down, bottom out at 42 this morning, and still got that breeze out there. Then we'll already make it up to 45 at noon. Again, not a heat wave. We bounce back to 49. Now in the record books, the high was already earlier this morning. That's where we're going to be later on today. Once the sun goes down tonight, winds subside, clear skies, dry air, setting up for a really cold morning tomorrow. Hard freeze. We're not going to have freezing temperatures, though. We don't have any rain tomorrow. Like I said, that comes later on Sunday. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the rain chances throughout most all of next week. Great looking forecast. Details in just a couple of minutes. Traffic Authority, RJ, any problems out there?
All right, Mike. Yeah, starting to see more people on the road. So seeing a couple of incidents pop up real quick. Want to show you a couple of TransGuide cameras here. I-10 Frio traffic moving pretty good in both directions there. And I-10 Probat, same situation there a little bit south of downtown. So let's show you exactly what's going on now. We're going to take you to the southwest side. We do have a stalled vehicle being reported at Loop 410. This is southbound lanes at Old Pearsall Road. So still trying to get a little bit more information on what's going on there, but it looks like it might be something that our drivers having to deal with right now. We just wanted to mention real quick before we go to this, there is also a stalled vehicle at La Cantera Parkway and I-10. So we'll continue to follow those incidents taking place. Real quick here, I-10, 1604, the 1604 expansion project, that's going to be shut down. Main lanes, both highways there. If you're going on I-10, you're going to be detouring UTSA Boulevard up to La Cantera Parkway. And if you're going to be on 1604, you're going to have to detour Vance Jackson Road to La Cantera Parkway on the 1604 side. So this is something that we're going to continue to follow. This closure starts 9 p.m. tonight, goes through Monday morning to 5 a.m. And of course, this is all weather permitting. We have some drone video we're going to show you here in just a little bit, kind of give you a little bit of a different perspective of what's going on out there. Mark and Stephanie, back to you guys.
Thank you, sir. New this morning, San Antonio police responded to a wrong-way driver that crashed on Interstate 10 overnight. SAPD says just after 2 a.m., the wrong-way driver was reported on 10 near Bernie Stage Road. Police say the driver made it all the way past Loop 410 and crashed head-on with another car just before Vance Jackson. The wrong-way driver is now being investigated for a possible DWI. The driver of the other car was taken to the hospital as a precaution. Happening today, a man on trial for capital murder will learn his fate.
Gilson Avila Rodriguez is accused of the 2018 double murder of Nicholas Milanovich and Julia Wright. Our Sarah Costa is here to tell us what else is expected in court later today. Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning, guys. I remember covering this in 2018. It's one of those scenes that really sticks with you because it's a double murder. Both Nicholas Milanovich and Julia Wright were fatally shot as they were asleep in their apartment. In court yesterday, the jury saw a more than 2-hour-long interrogation video where Avila Rodriguez confessed to the murders, but he says he was forced to do it by his girlfriend, Melissa Cortez. Cortez, he says, was a drug kingpin and told him that Milanovich was stealing drug business from her. Closing arguments are expected later this morning around 10 a.m. and then the jury will get to deliberate. If found guilty, Avila Rodriguez would automatically be sentenced life in prison without the possibility of parole. You can watch it all live today, again, starting at 10 this morning on KSAT.com, KSAT Plus, and KSAT's YouTube page. Mark, Steph.
Thank you, Sarah. Now to Uvalde, where the fallout continues after the release of the report from the Department of Justice.
U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland says what happened on May 24, 2022 was a complete and utter failure.
KSAT spoke to some of the families of the victims who said they were hopeful this report would leave no stone unturned and would spur action. And now that it's complete, the families are thinking about next steps. They say it's on Uvalde County District Attorney Christina Mitchell to file criminal charges on those who can be held accountable.
This is probably the most extensive piece that we have about all of the failures that happened that day. What else does she possibly need to prosecute or to remove these people from their positions of power when they can't even do their jobs?
I hope that the failures end today and that local officials do what wasn't done that day, do right by the victims and survivors of Robb Elementary, terminations, criminal prosecutions. And our state and federal government enact sensible gun laws, because Robb Elementary began the day an 18-year-old wasn't allowed to purchase an AR-15.
There are 600 pages in that DOJ report. It is a lot to process. We've broken it down several ways, including the key takeaways from the report. It's all on our website at KSAT.com.
The Fifth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals will rehear the case over the Texas border buoys in the Rio Grande. The floating barriers are expected to stay in the river near Eagle Pass, pending the outcome of that rehearing. Governor Greg Abbott had the buoys installed as part of his border security initiative. Last year, the Justice Department filed a lawsuit claiming the governor deployed the buoys illegally. In December, the appeals court ordered the state to remove them. Oral arguments are set to begin in mid-May.
Meanwhile, a signature from President Joe Biden is the last step to enact a stopgap funding bill that would prevent a partial federal government shutdown tonight.
As CNN's Amy Kiley reports, despite their differences, lawmakers say they are focused on something they have in common.
Nobody wants to vote for a CR. It's always going to be like that.
Maybe not, but a continuing resolution to fund the government is through Congress just in time to avoid a partial shutdown tonight.
My colleagues and I worked late into the evening.
Now a stroke of the president's pen creates new funding deadlines of March 1st and 8th.
Is it enough time? We're months beyond the timeline.
Republicans are quick to reiterate their to-do list.
We should be getting closer to a final budget agreement.
We need to make certain that we stem the flow at the border.
To make sure that we don't bankrupt the greatest country in the history of humanity.
Lawmakers are showing signs they could cooperate on those issues. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and House Speaker Mike Johnson have some agreement on the budget. Leaders from both parties say they want to address the migrant crisis, and some Democrats argue controlling the national debt could help protect programs like Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare.
Social Security is on life support today.
But passing bills aimed at those issues requires bipartisanship.
For some, doing nothing is an option. To me, that is not an option.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
609, 48 degrees.
Still to come, the Spurs continue their road trip tonight against the Charlotte Hornets. Why Wemby says the team isn't giving up on the season despite so many losses.
And after the break, Houston Texans hoping to score a playoff upset against one of the best teams in the NFL. A preview of their matchup with the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, and why quarterback C.J. Stroud believes this time could be different.
Looking out there with live cam, starting at 48 degrees, which isn't too bad compared to those other temperatures we faced in the morning hours. However, we're not going to warm up as much as we did yesterday, so be aware of that, and the rain next week. We'll be right back.